this is Zach from Wyoming Mountain Guides. This is a really hard time for a lot of folks who are staying home and for the health and safety of us all aren't going outside to recreate. Now, it's not okay to go climbing outside right now because you're putting yourself and others at extreme risk during this public health crisis. But it is okay to acknowledge that being cooped up all day can take its toll, both on your physical fitness and your mental well-being. That's why I wanted to share a few ways that you can train for climbing at home with minimal equipment while having fun and enjoying yourself. Now today I'm going to share 4 creative ways for you to train at home for climbing, ranging from forms of training that require very little in terms of time, equipment, and expenditure of resources, all the way to helping you figure out how to create your own reasonably inexpensive climbing wall. Now let's get started. One of the simplest ways to get ready for the mountains is to just put on a backpack. Now about a year ago, I started doing hill climbs and climbing at the gym once or twice a week with a pack, and man, it made a big difference, especially in terms of my alpine and ice climbing performance this last season. But you don't even have to go outside, and you don't have to go to a climbing gym to reap the benefits of a good pack workout. That's why I want to share with you one of my favorite at-home pack workouts. Full disclosure, not something I created on my own. I downloaded this workout for free from Mountain Tough Fitness Labs in Bozeman. Now Mountain Tough, they primarily market their workouts to backcountry hunters and wildland firefighters, but they're also perfect for climbers who are cooped up right now because of the coronavirus. This workout's really simple. All you gotta do is take a pack like this Dolomite Designs 45 liter South Fork, which we helped create, and you fill it with weight, anywhere from 20 to 45 pounds, whatever you're comfortable with, and you don't let go of the pack for 20 minutes. And every 30 seconds, you're gonna alternate between exercises. You're gonna do curls, you're gonna do front squats, you're gonna do overhead walk, overhead press, you're gonna do bent over rows, you're gonna do oblique dips, and then finally lunges. So you're gonna alternate through those 7 exercises every 30 seconds for 20 minutes. But if you let go of the pack hits the ground, then you have to stop the clock and do 30 punishment burpees. So workout's gonna go something like this. Now you've probably heard of hangboarding, which is a great way to train your fingers for bouldering and hard sport climbing. There are a lot of great resources out there for learning how to hangboard effectively and safely so you don't get hurt. My favorite resources for hangboarding are the Climb Strong series of books and training plans written by Wyoming's own Steve Bechtel. As cool as hangboarding is, I wanted to show you a simpler, cheaper, and arguably more fun way to train your fingers and forearms for climbing. And that is climb your house. Door frames, floorboards, walls, even your furniture can be great to climb and work out on. Here's a problem I've been working on in my hallway called the John Prine Memorial. Alexa, play.
I've been thinking lately about the people I meet. The car wash on the corner and the hole in the street. The way my ankles hurt with shoes on my feet. And I'm wondering if I'm gonna see tomorrow. Father, forgive us for what we must do. You forgive us, we'll forgive you. We'll forgive each other till we both turn blue. And we'll whistle and go fishing in the river. Give the girls a kiss, but I don't think they ever even notice me.
training at home can help you with fitness, but it can also help you work on more specialized climbing techniques. One thing a lot of new climbers struggle with is crack climbing, the art of wedging various parts of your body into a parallel-sided crack in the rock and somehow not falling out of it. When I went to college at the University of Wyoming, aka the University of Vidaboo, one thing I realized is that all the really good crack climbers had these crazy contraptions in their garages and their basements that allowed them to train and climb really hard cracks in the voo. See, the thing is with crack climbing is if you climb vertical cracks all the time, you can get away with some pretty sloppy technique. But if you climb horizontal cracks upside down, then you are forced to climb that crack as efficiently as possible. And you know exactly how hard to jam your hand or your fist or your ring lock or whatever and stay in the crack, but also use a lot less energy, making you a way more efficient crack climber. So all you need to do to build a crack machine is find your local hardware store, some 2x6s, 2x8s, you can even do 2x10s, some spacers. Here I've used a 2x4 and then some 1/2-inch plywood, some really good wood screws, and hopefully a couple of well-exposed rafters. And so you put these all together and you want to make your crack machine. You want to start out with like a perfect hand size. The perfect hand size is probably going to be anywhere from 2 to 2.5 inches, and for women, maybe 1 3/4 to 2 1/4 inches, but it totally depends on your hand size. You want to start with hands. You want to get to the point where you can traverse. You can do maybe up to 10 laps back and forth, even more. You get a great workout in, you work on that hand size, and then you can put some more spacers there, bump your crack up to fists is step 2, some sort of off-widths like butterflies, or a half stack or a double stack would be step 3. And then if you really want to be hard on yourself, you can do like a thumb stack or a ring lock. But I've got a new crack machine up. It is perfect hands for me. It's about 2 1/4 inches, and we're gonna get climbing. So if you're not able to climb on it, the first thing you want to do is you just want to figure out how to hang. Just like if you were hangboarding, you want to do hangs for starting out 5 seconds, 10 seconds, hopefully up to 30 seconds and then a minute. Once you feel comfortable hanging on your jams, you can start climbing. You can either do hands first, feet first, however you feel most comfortable. No cheating. You want to put your fingers on top of the crack. All your appendages should be inside. Start cracking. It's a great core workout because you have to switch sides all the time. Finally, I wanted to show you a simple but stable and relatively low-cost method of building your own climbing wall. Now, my wife and I live in a rented apartment, meaning we can't put any holes in the wall. So we had to create a climbing wall that was completely freestanding. Our wall is a simple A-frame structure composed of 2 identical side panels and a shorter top panel, and then with a crack machine, as you've already seen, as a dual-purpose crossbeam. Now, I can't go into all of the specific dimensions now, but I wanted to say that for our side panels and top panels, the plywood we're using is 3/4 inch CDX plywood, reinforced with studs every 16 inches. And as far as the height goes, I found that a proportion that seemed to work really, really well, regardless of room size, is if the studs on your side panels are 0.9 times the height of your room, whereas the height of your side panel plywood is 0.8 times the height of your room, and then your top panel is going to be those studs are going to be 0.6 times the width of your room, and the top plywood panel is going to be 0.5 times the height of your room. So those proportions should work for a lot of commonly sized smaller rooms. Those studs for both the side and top panels interlock at the top, creating a really solid A-frame, and then I have reinforced each of those stud joints with carriage bolts, and then further stabilize the structure by installing this crack machine on the side. So all in all, holds excluded, spent just south of $200 on this whole wall. So really inexpensive for a great training tool that's going to last well beyond when the coronavirus is over, God willing. And as far as holds go, some secret beta that I've just figured out is one, going to old climbing gyms, and I've actually done this over the years, and just asking to buy their old climbing holds, because if there is a climbing hold at a climbing gym, industry standards say, like, even if there's a small little chip, that hold has to go. So oftentimes they'll sell you these holds for pennies on the dollar, or just give them to you. And then especially if you like a steeper wall and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on big jugs, there's a company out of Idaho called Rocky Mountain Climbing Holds, and you can buy like bulk climbing holds that are fairly juggy, but almost feel like real rock. They're made for kids' playgrounds, but they're great as far as just like filling your wall with a bunch of jugs, you know, for art climbing and just getting some laps in, and they sell for like almost $1 a hold. But one last thing I wanted to say about this wall is not only is it stable enough for me to boulder on it and to crack climb on it, but it's really sturdy, and these Rocky Mountain climbing holds are super bomber, to the point where I can dry tool all day on it and really torque, including getting some really good Stein holds. So here I go on one of my new dry tooling routes. This whole route is composed of those Rocky Mountain climbing holds that I was telling you about, with the exception, obviously, of this figure 4 carabiner in the middle. Can't wait for that Stein pull. See, great Stein. Around the world we go. So stay tuned to our Instagram page, our YouTube channel, and look us up, WyomingMountainGuides.com, for more great ideas to keep you strong, sane, and stoked on your climbing through this public health crisis. And also look us up if you're in need of any trip planning resources, or you're looking to climb with us in the future. Thanks.